Hello and welcome to the FM21 A-League Rundown. This is a weekly look back at all the news, recent results and events in the Mariners' massive universe. All 12 A-League clubs are featured, but this may increase in the coming seasons as a lot of talk right now is around Canberra earning an A-League licence, following in the footsteps of their established W-League team. We begin, as always, with Adelaide United. The Reds put Western United to the sword with a 3-0 win at a wet Cooper Stadium thanks to a Tommy Jurich hat-trick. That came in the second half of the game. That result has taken the boys from the City of Churches up to third on the A-League ladder. Joshua Brindle South has turned down the opportunity to depart Brisbane Roar on loan. That came during a weekend when Brisbane Roar earned a 1-1 draw with visitors Wellington Phoenix at Dolphin Stadium. Dylan Wenzel-Halls scored the Brisbane goal. In terms of ourselves, the Central Coast Mariners, the ongoing takeover saga continues, as the team suffered a disappointing 3-2 loss to Western Sydney Wanderers in Gosford. Matt Ryan, who is still with the Brighton and Hove Albion in the Mariners' massive universe, has been speaking to the media, in particularly praising Matt Simon, who now has 24 goals and 4 assists in 20 starts and 1 substitute appearances. He was speaking on TalkSport, so just going to show that perhaps his judgment isn't as good as his goalkeeping. Macarthur FC enjoyed a share of the spoils with Sydney FC at the Jubilee Oval in a goalless draw. The Australian Football Gazette are attempting to do Graham Arnold's job for him as they tout Tommy Orr for a Socceroos recall. Tommy Orr, of course, a former Central Coast Mariner. Melbourne City's last result was on a Wednesday night. It was a win over Western Sydney Wanderers at Bankwest Stadium. Nathaniel Atkinson has turned down the opportunity of a short-term loan deal, but youngster Luke Oresti will be with Nunawading City until the end of the campaign. Longer-suffering listeners, viewers, will be amazed at my pronunciation of that. Jacob Butterfield led the way for Melbourne victory with 3 assists against Newcastle Jets. Robbie Cruz, Ryan Shotton and Callum McManaman all finished off chances created by the former Derby City midfielder. A war of words has engulfed Newcastle Jets boss Scott Miller with victory's Grant Brebner. Nigel Bogard scored the Jets' consolation on the hour, but the side from the Hunter Valley remained 9 points shy of the top 6. As you can see on screen here, plenty of back and forth between Grant Brebner, who's actually under pressure as Melbourne victory boss. In real life, of course, he bit the bullet a week ago. Steve Keane was then announced as the interim caretaker boss until the end of the season. Tony Popovich now announced as the new victory boss from next season. I think that is a pretty good appointment, to be honest. The managerial sword, I suppose you'd call it, may now fall on Carl Robinson. Earlier today, so this has been recorded on Friday, Western Sydney Wanderers lost a high-scoring game to Melbourne victory. And there are rumours that the likes of Kevin Muscat are circling around the Wanderers. So Carl Robinson, still in the top 6 for now with Western Sydney, but plenty of teams such as Brisbane and Western United have plenty of games in hand so they could overtake in the gritty alternative known as real life. Perth Glory look set to appoint Juan Roman Lopez Caro as their new manager. He's a former Real Madrid coach in 2006. He took over from Luxemburgo. He has managed in Spain with Levante, Celta Vigo, Racing Santander, and then internationally with both Saudi Arabia and Oman. Most recently, he spent a year managing in China. Sydney FC drew with Macarthur FC as Joel King has picked up sprained ankle ligaments. So that is going to mean a spell on the sidelines for the youngster. Both Trent Bahagia and Luke Ivanovic are suffering in front of goal. Bahagia has gone 8 games without finding the back of the net. Luke Ivanovic, 15 long hours of competitive football. Both strikers really suffering there. So in real life, of course, Sydney recruited Bobo, their old legend, to come back and lead the line. They've now gone back in for Adam Lafondra, he of the sausage rolls. So they have plenty of firepower in real life. Here in the Mariners Massive, neither are with Sydney FC, and it's down to Bahagia and Ivanovic to play up front, neither of whom, as you can see, are pulling up any trees. They're just not finding the back of the net. And for a striker, that's sort of your job. Ulysses Davila scored the equalising goal for Wellington Phoenix in Brisbane, just 2 minutes after Wenzel Halls had put the Raw ahead. Other than that, it's been a pretty quiet week for the Knicks. Simon Cox scored 2 goals to help Western Sydney Wanderers to a 3-2 triumph against the Mariners ourselves. Daniel De Silva and Bowman scored the Mariners goals. In addition to Cox, Bruce Kamau notched for the red and black. So they are currently managerless, but still managed to pull off a win against the league leaders. So pretty impressive there. They are not managerless, sorry. They did, of course, hire Patrick Svansvijk following the sacking of Carl Robertson, he who is now linked with Western United in the aftermath of Mark Rudan's departure. And here it is. Mark Rudan sacked by Western United with the club in 10th on the A-League ladder. He lost 3-0 in his final game to Adelaide United. Carl Robinson appears to be the favourite to take over. As you can see, he is 7-2 on. And Grant Brebner, 2-5 to be sacked next in the A-League. So could be some shake-up at the Victory as well as Western United. In terms of the table, Adelaide are in 3rd on 32 points, same as Brisbane and Sydney FC in 4th and 5th respectively. Melbourne Victory have a 6-point cushion over Western Sydney Wanderers for the 6th and final series spot there, but the Wanderers do have a game in hand. At the top of the league, the Mariners lead by 9 points from Wellington Phoenix. Perth Glory still propping up the table at 10 points shy of Newcastle Jets. In terms of fixtures to come over the coming week, we kick off with Friday football. The Knicks host Perth Glory, and then it's Melbourne City against Western United. Big game that, both teams close to each other in the table. In fact, they share 23 points, both of them. Saturday, we've got Sydney FC at home to Melbourne Victory in a big blue, followed by an F3 derby. So lots of good football for fans on Saturday, the 1st of May. Then we've got Western Sydney Wanderers in action against Brisbane Roar on Sunday. That is the final fixture of the round. Do join me on Thursday as you'll see Newcastle Jets host the Mariners. We will travel to the McDonald Jones Stadium to compete against our bitter rivals. I will see you on Thursday.